Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm coming at you with another whiskey review. I keep looking at the screen. I should be looking at the camera. How you doing? So, guys, Jameson glass today. You're like, actually, you already know what the bourbon is. I was going to build it up. I was going to be like, what whiskey is it? You guys already saw the title, so there's no need for that. Guys, Bulleit Bourbon today. Frontier whiskey, 45% alcohol, so 90 proof. Made from the pure Kentucky limestone filtered water in the Bulleit family tradition. Awesome, I guess. That's great. Wonderful. I have a story, though, that goes along with this, and I heard it on a different channel. It was another whiskey channel. And I want to say Whiskey Dick, maybe Neighbor, Whiskey Neighbor, something like that. It was someone, I can't quite remember, but I want to say it was Whiskey Dick. No, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter right now. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, basically, it turns out that the original recipe for Bulleit Bourbon was like 66%, so like 2/3 rye, and then 1/3 corn. And apparently, back in the time when he was making this, like there weren't really rules like there are today as to what makes a bourbon, whatever. The guy was in the U.S. He made the whiskey, called it a bourbon. It's fine. But this here, I think, this still has rye in it. I'm pretty sure. I can't 100% remember, but I want to say 28% rye. So there's definitely a rye taste in here, which I noticed just because I like Canadian whiskey, so I can taste like that spice. But this has something very different that I'm not used to. So let's go ahead. We'll open that. Ooh, as you can tell, I already started it, by the way. But let's go ahead. We'll pour a little tiny bit. A little tiny. That's what I did last time. We'll do a decent. A little more. There we go. Decent little dram. Now, by the way, this is Jameson glass, so don't get mad, okay? It's just the glass I'm using. It's all good. But there's something that I noticed in this, and I've drank bourbon before, by the way. I've had the really generic stuff, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, which is Tennessee whiskey, but technically bourbon. But one that I had that I really liked was Wild Turkey 101. And when it comes to Wild Turkey 101, it does not have nearly as much as a wood taste. You know, like the oak taste, I'm guessing. I guess it's the barrel taste, right? Because the texture of this bourbon, let's go with the smell. The spices and sweet. I want to say that's all I'm picking up, but I think it's just because I do better when I'm comparing to something else, which we're not going to do because I got school tomorrow, so I can't be whipping out all the whiskeys there. But I want to say I smell the wood. You know, because I know the taste is there, and it's not so much that I don't think I can smell it, but for some reason it's just not jumping out at me right now. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll give this a little taste. Oh yeah, okay. So kind of like the Canadian Club Rye, I can feel that rye spice at the back of my mouth. That might also be a bit because of the slightly higher alcohol percentage, which is possible. But definitely what I'm tasting here is a little bit of that rye. Sweet, but not as sweet as you'd think it'd be. But then again, it's not a whole lot of corn compared to a lot of other bourbons, I guess. Because I find Wild Turkey was sweeter, 101. So I'm guessing there is more corn in that. If not, maybe it's just something else. I'm not 100% sure, but not as sweet as I was expecting from a bourbon. Just a little more spice, you know? And then the wood taste. This is the thing that it's the first time I taste, and I haven't tasted a whole lot of whiskeys a lot different from like my regular Canadian whiskeys. Like I branched out a little bit. I got like some Johnny Walker Red to give me a basis as to what Scotch is. But this here, like the texture of this to me is dry, not in a bad way, but like dry in the sense of I can taste the wood. I think, which is odd because I don't think this is aged very long. So I don't know why I'm tasting this, and it might not even be the wood, but I get a dry texture. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Like whiskey tastes, I guess, are subjective. But this is just something that I find coming back the more I drink it. Now, here's the thing, though. I noticed it a lot more yesterday, so I'm not tasting the dryness as much today, but it's still there. It's very interesting. So, yeah, guys. Bulleit Bourbon Frontier Whiskey. Overall, out of 5, let's say we were to rate it. And the way I'm rating it isn't so much like how interesting it is, all that, just how much I would be able to just kind of sit down and be like, you know, had a long day, I just want to sip on something. And I think I give this a 3. Yeah, about a 3. Like, it's good. Now, that might be unfair because I think this is a little more interesting than some of the stuff that I'm used to, just in the sense of different tastes that I'm not used to. I think that because of that, the way I'm rating it as to how, like, I would, you know, want to sip on it, right? I'm used to that kind of sweeter, a little smoother. Like, I'm not saying this isn't smooth, but like a sweetness and a smoothness that I'm used to with Canadian whiskeys that just isn't in the Bulleit Bourbon. It has its own kind of, you know, its own different tastes, right? So I'm not used to it. So obviously the score I'm giving it isn't really, it's definitely subjective, right? That's the thing, and that's like that. Like, I mean, if you're used to drinking bourbon, right, and then you were to rate my Canadian whiskey that I normally drink, then you're obviously gonna kind of like, maybe you love it, but might be thrown off by it. And I think that was the biggest thing with this Bulleit Bourbon. I was thrown off by it right away when I drank it for the first time, which surprised me because I thought, you know, that I'd really be on top of it because of the because I tried Wild Turkey 101, but I guess that really shows that you try one turkey. You try one turkey, you tried it all. No, you tried if you've tried one bourbon, doesn't mean you've tried them all, right? And that's the thing with whiskey. There's just so many different tastes and so many different things to try. So we got a long ways to go, guys. There's going to be a lot of reviews up ahead. But the more I drink, I taste the sweetness even more. That's interesting because I'm used to the caramel sweetness. I'm not noticing caramel sweetness, but definitely just something sweet just kind of hit me there that I was not getting yesterday. That must be the corn. That was actually really good. That was a good. I think the more I drink it, I think the better it's getting, guys. Okay, that's interesting. I'm actually happy. We're ending on a good note right there. You know, it just jumped up 3.5. Boom. Yeah, definitely. But anyways, guys, that was the whiskey review for today. Probably be another one next week. This one was on the weekend. Last one was on a Monday, but they're going to be on during the weekend from this point forward. So, anyways, you enjoyed the whiskey review? Hit a like. Awesome to see support all the time. And feel free to subscribe. We're going to try and continue doing this and hopefully not just do whiskey reviews in the future. But anyways, that's a whole other note. It's not why you guys are here. Guys, cheers. I'll see you guys next week, okay? Oh.